First time I went to Utica, I was like, you get booked on these gigs, and I was like, what is Utica?
Well, Utica's a tough market. It really is. If they don't know who you are, they're not coming. As simple as that. And before we opened this place, it was Utica was a market that was just flooded with cover bands.
And to me, Utica and the Electric Company go hand in hand. Like, um, they're really inseparable because I've only ever gone to Utica really to play the Electric Company, basically.
There were a lot of like bands that I was like, I don't want to book those guys, but I do want to book these guys because they're doing something independent, and that's the whole thing. And was my whole mindset the whole time was to bring it at an independent level, and give something Utica never really ever had before. There's so many memorable nights, and it's hard to like tell every night because a lot of those years, and I always say from like '02 to about maybe last week is my blackout years.
What a good time we had. What a better time to know.
Our first night here, we had Joe Mama and the Soul Train. And it was Halloween and everything, and none of us really even dressed up because nobody had time to dress up. We were too busy getting the bar ready and putting up the PA and putting the sign up out front that no one really had time to really enjoy the Halloween festivities. But we got the ball up and rolling, and the next day, on November 1st, '02, we had Rhubarb and Mecca Bodega. And I specifically remember that day because I was doing shows with those guys before that.
And we used to do festivals with Z, and when he got his own place, then it opened up total freedom to try to do whatever we wanted to do on stage.
We would come in, he'd whisper to me, and he would say, do something, do something, do something. I was like, do something. We had Tape Your Face Thursday, which was bigger than any Thursday night ever. Taping our faces with electrical tape. Z and I did it, and for some reason, everybody thought that it was acceptable.
There's a picture of it right up
there's
there.
a picture right up there.
Human pyramids.
The human pyramids, hide and seek, roll a pretzel down the hall at the Utica Hotel.
We used to push pretzels with our nose up and down the carpet.
There were pretzels on the ground, and people were pushing them with their noses, and I think Z wanted to win so badly that he lost some of his nose and there's part of his lip.
And I remember my nose was bleeding. It was dripping so much from pushing a little pretzel up the carpet.
Because of this.
Utica Club beer.
Yes, dear Utica.
As the years gone on and the shows grew, and got this phone call from Al Schneer from Mo one day.
I don't want to go to the loop. I just want to leave this town.
He was like, hey, Z, Al Schneer here. Hey, Al, how are you? Good. We want to play there. And I like pretty much dropped the phone. And I'm like, wow, Al Schneer wants to play my club.
The thing is, with the Trans-Americans, everybody was scattered, all the musicians in the band. So to get everybody here was an effort in and of itself. But at least we could come here and rehearse at my place and then maybe start off with a show here or finish a tour with a show here, which was fantastic.
So immediately when I hung up the phone, I was like, the stage is too small. We need to build a bigger stage. We need to build a bigger stage. And actually there is another stage underneath this stage.
I always try to do local stuff when I'm off the road because otherwise I don't play at all. So for me, it's like the only way that I keep in shape. So I really enjoy doing it. Plus, people show up, you go out, you have a few drinks, you play some music. It's a lot of fun, So it's like, what better to do on a Wednesday night than go to your local club and play?
Well, I had to bug up my butt that Al and Vinny and these guys from Mo are going to come, that we have to make the stage bigger. So within the next week, we had the stage complete and done. And Al and Trans-Americans came down and rocked the house. Absolutely rocked the house.
It's become a home to us. So it's a place where we can maybe start a project, take it around the country and come back here and, take another snapshot.
It's one of those home away from home sort of places where you feel comfortable playing here. The people, who's going to show up, you're going to have support in the crowd.
That right there was enable us to grow a little bit more, and we had bands such as John Brown's Body and Bernie Worrell and the Wool Warriors, who Bernie Worrell is in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame 2 times with Parliament Funkadelic and the Talking Heads.
I just always loved it there. Like Z always just did such a great job of like making you feel appreciated, you know, like making you feel like you were home, you know, and he was like genuinely psyched to see us when we would come in, you know.
Well, I'm a musician myself, so our hospitality was bar none better than pretty much any other venue I've pretty much played in or been to, you know. We would bend over backwards. We'd give them the food buyout or put a bunch of beer in the back and, you know, take care of the bands on whatever they really needed, you know. And we really thrived on, you know, making the musicians comfortable around here.
You know, and I just remember being in that green room and having Z just like get the crowd really pumped up at the end of the night. You know, ain't no party like an EC party, 'cause an EC party don't stop.
It's like Ryan Mountblue. I got a call from Tom Baggett one day, and Tom and I had worked for years before the Electric Company, where Tom Baggett, he was Ryan's former booking agent. He's like, I got this kid, Ryan Mountblue. I want to bring him in. He's going to explode. He's going to be huge. I'm like, all right, Baggett, whatever. You know, bring him in. We brought him in here on an acoustic night. It was December. It was cold that night. And it was Ryan Mountblue, Jay Brady, Peter Prince, and Joe Sweet. And there was like maybe 5 other people here.
And I think that there was like 7 people there, and we rocked out as best we could, and we had a blast. I just still remember it. I remember Jay Brady was doing sound, and he sat in on mandolin with both me and Peter.
We were just absolutely blown away by this kid's voice. Blown away. And there's a lot of people that will come up to me. I was there the first night Ryan played. Like, no, you weren't. There's no way you were, because there was only 5 of us here that night, you know? And I specifically remember Baggett telling me, because I brought him back, and there was nobody here the second time I brought him back, and I brought him back the 3rd time, and there was nobody here for the 3rd time.
And then I remember like coming back again, and then like those same 7 people were there, and then there was also more people there.
And I specifically remember Baggett telling me, he was like, Ryan's wondering why I keep playing Utica.
And that was sort of the story, like over the years, is like those same people would always come, and then more and more people would come.
I'm like, all right. He goes, well, we gotta do something, you know, we gotta boost it. I was like, how about we have him open up for Tim Reynolds? And he's like, that's a great idea. So we opened up for Tim Reynolds, and that actually kind of put his foot in the door here in Utica. And the rest is history with that kid.
It was the first place that was kind of like a success story for us. It was really the first place that like we saw people coming out in numbers, and all of a sudden we were like selling out this venue and just having a blast. And it was really like other than our hometown, which we had built for years and sort of, you know, got people out more and more in Boston, Utica was like the first place on the road that we like had success. I don't know, for whatever reason, I think people could always tell that we were just genuinely psyched to be there, because they were genuinely psyched that we would come. And I just always just felt like it was equal, you know, like it was just the love that we were getting. We were really genuinely trying to give back.
It's definitely changed throughout the years. I mean, at first, you know, we wanted to showcase, you know, a lot of jam bands, you know, but then every jam band started to sound the same, you know, and it just got old after a while. So we started, you know, debut other independent music, you know, more rock and more metal, more hip hop, you know, and we're just trying to showcase, you know, different independent music. What were we talking about again?
Where our ears at, there ain't no love, there ain't no love, there ain't no love. I tell you this fact, there ain't no love, there ain't no love, there ain't no love. You got to fight back.
Watching the bands on the big stage and seeing them here, and then you see them on the big stage, and it's like kind of like a revelation, like, wow, you know, because we're so used to seeing them here in this atmosphere, but then you see them in a larger atmosphere, and you're like, wow, that's amazing. And that actually, it brings a tear to my eye sometimes, you know, when you see my friends up on stage like that, and they're playing in front of thousands and thousands of people. And then they just played the EC like 2 weeks ago for like 200 people, you know? That brings a tear to my eye. I love to see that, you know? I love to see the success stories that have gone on.
It was like a diverse crowd of people. Like it was like hippie kids, and then also like metalheads, and like kind of everybody in between.
The thing I'm gonna miss the most about this place is the energy that the people that would bring to the table. You know,
And like they would like, you know, kind of really get our backs, you know.
And then the people would go for every single thing that we've ever done, and it's basically friends. It's just a great place, always.
We like just being here, and I'd maybe, you know, want to see Sam Kinninger play or the Brew or whomever, and not be the dude from Mo, but just be somebody else who's hanging out at the Electric Company sometimes, you know?
You have the girls, you have like the guys who are into it and all that stuff, but I'd also see like people who I would never expect to be into us, like
you would have the hula hoop and hippie chicks over here.
I don't know, like I would meet these people, like these like dudes with like tattoos that were all into like metal bands, and
Would have the doctors and lawyers sitting over there.
I felt like nothing but support in that room over the years.
Gained some great contacts, you know, throughout the years, and I've got rock stars for friends, you know. It was just such an eclectic audience that would come check out the shows at the Electric Company. And I think that's the most I'm gonna miss about it, is what everybody brought to the table when they entered the doors.
Even a trace, nothing to see, nothing to see.